not the principal, of course, the school principal, right? So if I'll ask you what is your principal, or what are your principles, so what you will tell me?
Well, like guidelines.
Yeah, like what are your basically, you can say, what you follow, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So similarly, whenever we follow circular flow of income, right? So over here, what is the main rule of why there is a circular flow of this? So over here, in the entire circular
Because of
what is
real
happening?
flow and non-money flow.
Yeah, it is basically, see, for example, circular. Why it is circular flow itself? Because it is moving from one end to another, right? In return of money, you are getting the product. Others, then, for example, you are giving your land. You are a landlord, right? For the product, you are getting the money, right? But similarly, you want sugar. So you are giving that money to that person again and this. So over here, what will be the principle? The principle are two itself. One is the real flow in terms of goods and services, and the opposite is the money flow, right? So that's why this is the basically, so it is basically the thing is that you have to regenerate, you have to generate the income in production process, how you process it, and plus how you distribute it, right? So this is the main principle of circular flow of income. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it's that, the only thing is that how you are producing it, right? And how you are generating the income, right? And how you are distributing among the factors. This is the only principle. Okay. So in case if you don't know anything, then you can only write about circular flow. This happened, that's it. Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
when they are giving you explain circular flow of income, then explain means you have to use the diagram and everything. Whenever the word is there, explain. But here you can just simply write what circular flow do and what are the indications that a circular flow is giving. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What we did in the last class? This we did Suez Canal, I think. We have to start with demographic condition if I'm not wrong.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Okay. So now let's just start with the demographic conditions. Okay. So over here, India demographic condition during the colonial period. So various details about the population of British India were collected through the census of 1881. It subsequently it revealed the unevenness in India's population growth. Subsequently, operations were carried out before 1921. India was at the first stage of demographic transition. Now, very important thing that you have to learn, right? First of all, over here I have written a word demographic transition, right? So there are three phases in demographic transition: first phase, second phase, and third phase. Right? I'll use two marker over here. One is the black, which I will use for death. Okay, and the other one will be orange, which I will use for the birth. Okay, so in the first phase, basically, the death rate was very high. Okay, in the second rate, death rate start coming down slowly, not that much, but little bit. Right, in the third stage, it totally came down. Death rate I'm talking about. Then coming to birth rate over here, birth rate it was very high in the first stage, right? Second stage, it was again high. Right? Third stage, it came down. Clear? This is the three stages of demographic transition theory. Right? So, first stage, what is happening? Look
Both
at the
death,
both
death
birth
rate
Both rates.
and death rate are high.
high. Second rate, death rate, it didn't came down, but yeah, it started coming down. Right? Not that much, but at least few percentage. Right? But birth rate, it stayed high. But in third stage, both birth rate and death rate, they came down. I hope it's clear, the demographic transition, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
the question is, ma'am, why it is so? So it is basically about the earlies, right? So at that time, see, there was no hospitals, no medical facilities were there. So automatically, for example, you are getting cold. So the thing is that you will die, right? Because there is no medical facilities. If I got cancer, I'll die. There is no treatment. If I got something, I'll die. Right? There is no medical treatment, that there is no possibility that the cureness or, the treatment is not possible. That's why the death rate was very high. The birth rate, at the time, there was no family planning, no protections and nothing. So it was basically, everyone was thinking that it's God gifted and, it's natural and something. There was nothing. Nobody knew about the family planning that, okay, we should have a small family and all that. So birth rate was really high. I hope you got the reason for both death rate and birth rate.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay. Then coming to second phase, now what happens? Slowly and slowly, this medical hospitals were there. Slowly and slowly, hospitals came, right? The setup hospitals, technologies were there and all that. So slowly and slowly, like few normal cures, like you got cold, we can. Okay, Vanisha left. Wait a minute. Vanisha, when you left, what I was.
Ma'am, just I
Okay.
was listening to what you said.
First one is clear why birth rate was high and death rate was high.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then second rate, birth rate was coming down, right? So that rate is coming down. That means what? That there are medical facilities. Now people cannot that much medical facilities, not like you got cancer and there is a treatment. No. Right? But yeah, few like you got cold, you had fever, you had jaundice, you had malaria. So there were basically some diseases for that. The treatment was there. So that's why that rate came down. But see, education and the information is something because earlier there was no telecommunication, media, and all that. So information used to take a lot of time to get spread, right? So therefore, birth rate was high because nobody was aware of this. That there are few, contraception you can use, and there were few family planning things, or like if you will not control your family, then it will lead to the population explosion. Nobody knew that. So that's why birth rate was high. But coming to third, where when new technologies come, people became more aware, right? So over here, death rate automatically came to down because now if for every disease there is a treatment, right? And similarly, people now are aware. Nobody goes for the larger family. Everyone wants nuclear family because they know that educating a child. See, it's not about the children. It's about that you have to. The childrens are there. You have to for their well-being. You have to do a lot of things. So people are understanding that there is no need to have 10, like 4 or 5 children. Having one child or two child is more than enough. So people are now focusing on the things, and there are so many other ways as well how you can control the population. So that's why both birth rate and death rate came down in this. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now I'm giving you 5 minutes. What you are going to do? First of all, you will give a heading demographic transition. Okay. Then you will make this diagram. You can use black pen or blue pen for this, and over there you can write black pen represent this death rate, and this like this. You will draw this diagram like a big diagram over here, and then you will write first stage, right? First stage, and you will write first stage both birth rate and death rate were high. Then you will write reason, right? Then second stage, this was the situation, reason. Third stage, like this. In case you get stuck somewhere, just let me know. I'll tell you what to write. Clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Any line or any statement you're like, ma'am, what to write over here in a good way or something, just let me know. I'll just tell you that statement. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, could you tell the reason that we applied first, please?
Yes, Manisha, you were saying something?
No, ma'am, could you tell the reason that we applied for the first place?
First one? For red line? For birth rate?
No, ma'am, the reason.
Reason for what? Which one? First, second, third?
Ma'am, the first one.
Sorry? All?
Ma'am, first.
First, okay. So birth rate is high because nobody was educated. Nobody has the information about family planning. Nobody knew that, if they will not control their family, then it will lead to the population explosion. Right? So you can see people were illiterate. There was no education. There was no information about the family planning and all that. Because of this, birth rate was high. But death rate, coming to death rate, because there was no technology, there was no medical facilities. Because of this, there was no treatment procedure for the people who are getting ill. So that's why the death rate was also high. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, the reason for increasing birth rate in a stage 1 and stage 2 is it the same?
Yeah, it will be same. So
Okay.
over here you will write, as we can see, death rate is coming down, but birth rate still remain high because information takes because at that time there was no facilities, like no media, no telecommunication was there. So information takes a lot of time to get spread. So that's why still people were not aware about the family plannings. You can write that statement. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Okay. Both of you done?
Ma'am, could you tell the reason for the third phase?
Okay. So death rate was low because there was a good technology, good medical facilities are aware. So in case you fall ill, you can get a proper treatment and you know you can be treated or the thing can be done. That's why the death rate was low. Birth rate was low because now people are educated. People know about family planning, and that's why they started controlling their population. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, done.
Both of you done?
Yes, ma'am.
No?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's just start. India's demographic condition. So you already know that there was the thing. So what you have to basically write, you have to write this. Various detail about population of British India were first collected through the census of India, which was 1881. Then it revealed that the unevenness of India's population growth. Subsequently, operations were carried out. Before 1921, India was in the first stage, right? So before 1921, India was having here both high birth rate and high death rate, right? And over here, after 21, it came to the second stage, right? That birth rate was high and but death rate was low, right? So that's why the population is increasing right now, right? Because death rate is low and already right now the India is in topmost, right? Yes? No?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So over here now, quantitative appraisal of India's demographic profile during the colonial period. Okay, so neither the total population of India nor the rate of population growth during the second stage of demographic was very high, right? So over here, what is happening? Death rate was so sorry. So over here, the thing was that the population growth rate earlier it was not because if 10 people are dying and 10 people are taking place birth, so it's going to be equal, right? But over here, the other level was really disappointing, like low level of literacy, lack of adequate public health expenditures, like the facilities and high mortality rate. See, low level literacy means the overall literacy population was less than 16%. So out of 100, only 16% were educated, like less than that. And out of this, female literacy was vulnerable, like it was low, about 7% only, right? And over here, the public health facilities, it was lack of adequate, like there was no sufficient. So public health facilities were either available to large chunk of population or when available were highly inadequate. Consequently, water and airborne diseases were rampant and took huge toll on life, right? Because if health facilities are not there, if I fall sick, then there's no going back, right? Then high mortality rate, who will tell me what is mortality rate? No?
Life expectancy.
Yeah. No. Ping. Mortality rate. It's a birth rate or it's a death rate?
Ma'am, death rate.
Okay. Others? Anyone else? No? Yes. Mortality rate is basically the death rate. In Hindi, do you people know in Hindi what death means? Yes, anyone? In Hindi? You don't know? You can say yes or no.
I'm not getting the correct word.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ritika, tell me.
No, ma'am. I said yes for what Vanisha said.
Okay. It's moth. Have you heard that moth? Moth ho gayi,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So
Yes,
M
ma'am.
stands for moth and M is basically mortality, which is death rate, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
I hope it's clear. So over here, the high mortality rate, the overall mortality rate was very high in that, particularly the infant mortality rate, right? Infant is basically the baby, which is less than 1 year, right? That is your infant. So over here was very alarming. Out of 200, about 218 per thousand, like out of 1,000 children, 218 were dying, right? So that's why it was too alarming because see, during pregnancy, the mother who is giving birth to a child, they need a proper treatment and everything, but there was no medical facilities. So at during the birth itself, these children, like the newborn babies, they used to die. So it was quite alarming. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And then low life expectancy. See, right now there are people who are even 60 is a normal age right now, right? Minimum 60, 65, 70, 80, 90, the people are living. But at that time, the life expectancy was very low. You can say 44 is the constant to like present is 60 year, right? But at that time it was 44. Why? Because see, everyone gets somewhere the diseases. So at that time, if you got diseases, no matter whether you're 20, 30, 40, there is no going back, you'll die, right? So at that time, the life expectancy was very, very low. Currently, it is high that it is 68, but at that time, due to non-medical facilities, there was no facilities in medical, it was very low. Then extensive poverty. So at that time, the poverty level was very, very high, right? So it was basically the worsening profile of India's population of the time. So because of poverty, India's profile was very, very poor. Clear? So if someone is giving you
Yes,
a question that tell us the demographic transition. So first of all, you will start from here that before 1921, India was in the first stage of demographic transition. In the second stage, then it began after 1921. Then you will write these are the various development indicators were also not quite encouraging low. These are the demographic indications. And if someone asks you about the demographic structure of India, you will tell them that there was low literacy, lack of education, like this. Okay, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So over here, see the number of death in a given area of a period, right? This one, mortality rate. What is mortality rate? This second. The number of death rate in a given, so I'm writing here M so that you can write the definition from here. And over here, this infant mortality rate is the other definition. The number of death under 1 year of age occurring among the live birth of in a given geographical area during a given year, right? So I'm just highlighting this. I hope you people can see it. Infant mortality and one is mortality rate. Okay, these are the definition you have to write from here. Okay, so first write India's demographic, then over here you can start from here. That various details and it because you have to know that when they collected the census, because with the help of census only you can come to any conclusion, right? Then this, then over here this, the various social this, first, second, third, right? You will give a heading this, the quantitative operation, then so okay.
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Ma'am, can you scroll down?
Girls, you can write. I'm just coming in 1 minute, okay? I'm just bringing my charger from next room.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, girls, I'm back. In case if you want to ask, you can tell me.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you scroll down? Ma'am, can you scroll down?
Both of you done can hear? Okay, I'll just wait for 1 more minute, then I'll scroll, okay? Okay, done, girls, both of you. I think I should scroll. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Vanisha, you are also done.
Ma'am, her network is a bit weak. She said me that she can't hear both of us.
Okay, okay. So, okay, let me just type it if in case she can. Okay, I think network issues. We can move to the next one. Okay, life expectancy and extensive program.
Ma'am, could you show the previous,
Previous one.
yes, ma'am, the last. Yes, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Both of you done?
Yes, ma'am, done.
Okay. Now, occupation structure during the colonial period, right? So, what were the people like? There are different occupation: service sector, agriculture sector, industrial sector, so many sector. So, where people were distributed, like basically distributed, or people were engaged. So, the occupation structure means the distribution of working person across different industries and sector, right? So, there are different sector: agriculture, manufacturing, and service sector. Right? Manufacturing is basically the industrial sector. Okay. The line feature of India's pre-independence occupation structure. First, little sign of change. So the agriculture sector accounted for the largest share of workforce, which usually remained at high of 70 to 75%, while the manufacturing service sector accumulate only 10 and 15 to 20 respectively. Okay, so this is basically this. You can say agriculture highest, then manufacturing, then service sector, and then manufacturing. Okay. Then over here, growing regional variation. See, parts of Madras Presidency, like which are basically the present Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, and Karnataka, Bombay and Bengal witnessed a decline in dependence of the workforce on the agriculture. So these were the area where there was decline in the agriculture sector. Like the people were not interested in doing agriculture, and there was increase in the manufacturing and the service sector. Okay, but there were other regions where the workforce in agriculture of states they were increased. Odisha, Rajasthan, and Punjab. Clear? So these were the area where the people, the you can say the production factor in the agriculture sector, the people who were engaged, that came down. But here, the share in the workforce in agriculture states, it basically increased in these three states. Okay. So you will write occupation structure, then this line feature, and these two. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, could you tell what all we have to write once again?
Sorry.
Ma'am, could you tell what all we have to write again?
Yeah. First, you will put a heading, occupation structure, this. Then you will write this first part. Then you will put a new heading, the line feature, and then first and second. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Girls, you were saying something?
No, ma'am.
Okay.